The Gold Dust Lounge has served up cold beer and cocktails since 1933. Our quick quiz tonight was 1933 also a big year for what other legendary Bay Area landmark which became the center of movies and TV shows? The answer is Alcatraz. The Rock became a federal penitentiary in 1933. The super prison held inmates until 1964 when it became too expensive to maintain.
I've got so many stories for so many nights.
That's a clip from the new song with a clear message and a call to action to save the Gold Dust Lounge. It's one of San Francisco's oldest bars located near Union Square. It's been a haven and a live music venue for tourists and locals alike. Bing Crosby once owned the bar, and superstars like Janis Joplin and other Hollywood royalty often stopped in. But the current owners got an eviction notice. The landlord now wants to lease that space to somebody else. The singer of that new song that you just heard is Catherine Hill, and she joins me here tonight, one of many people trying to save the bar. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Love the song?
Well, I'm glad you like it.
So what made you decide to want to save the old Gold Dust Lounge? Why is it special to you?
Well, partly I work for the son of the owners and was hired to do research on the bar. And the more that I got into the history, the more I realized what value it has to the character of San Francisco. And because there's so much history. Yeah,
sure is. You know what, Joe Rosado Jr. did a special story for us last week, and so we got a little bit of a look at some of that history. But what can you tell us? What did you find out about it that was maybe special to you or really stood out about it? You've learned a lot about that place.
Yeah, well, just that it's been around since, the building's been around since 1908. It's been, since it was liquor stores, I guess, after 1933 when Prohibition ended, and then Bing Crosby apparently owned it, or co-owned it, did the ceiling and the lights, and so if you go in there, you can see parts of different eras around, you know.
Well, and you know, there's so many, you know, we talked about Janis Joplin, Bing Crosby, a lot of Hollywood greats would come there, so there's that history. But as Joe kind of mentioned in his story, some of the actual architecture or what the ceiling is made out of the bar, that kind of thing, if you plow that over and then you decide, oops, we want to put it back, you kind of can't get that stuff back. Once that stuff is gone, it's gone. Right.
The spirit and it took a long time to get the way it is now.
So what's kind of the sentiment in San Francisco? Is it kind of like we can still save this? Is this kind of the fourth quarter and maybe we can get it done? Or is it a done deal? Can you not save it at this point?
Of course we can save it.
That's why you wrote the song.
Everybody's got to sing along. But basically you can sign the petition that we have going, and also we're working toward saving it as getting it declared a landmark in San Francisco.
So I think the eviction notice is something about March 10th, right? So you have between now and then to try to get some notice. What would be the biggest benefit? Would it be city lawmakers, state lawmakers, any particular group? Is there, you know, historical group? Is there anybody that could really come to the rescue and help if you could get their attention?
Well,
all of the above?
All of the above, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the petition as well. There's a website, right? People can go there and sign that.
There are two right now. There's SaveTheGoldDust.com, and then there's the Gold Dust Lounge San Francisco. You can go to either, or SF, you can go to either of those and just sign the petition. And we're also having a pub crawl on February 4th. Yeah,
as I understand, the same owners own Lefties, right?
Adults, yeah.
And, but they can't really absorb all the workers, too. So, I mean, maybe one or two, but not everybody can go there. So there's that impact, too, right?
Right, and then plus live musicians. They have live music there every night. And so keeping musicians working on Powell Street.
Well, we wanted to take another peek at your song. We got a little, you know, taste of it during coming in and out of the commercial break. We want to play a little bit more, another clip for us, so let's take a listen to that.
Thank you. Okay.
I've been in San Francisco since 1933. Hardly anybody's been around as long as me. I show the years in the layers of my paint. Within these walls, the old remains. Bing Crosby in the 50s did my ceiling and my lights. I've got so many stories for so many nights.
That's good stuff right there. Again, Catherine Hills, thank you so much for coming by, sharing your song, sharing your inspiration and your story and your fight. I hope it goes well for you.
Well, thank you for having me.
I hope we can have you back because it got saved. We'll have to follow and figure out how it goes.
Okay.
We'll have more news.